I'm ready. You're ready. We're ready. I hope everyone's ready because this is At Week's End, the spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics news and so much more. And it's kind of a mellow week, so we're going to be diving into some topical discussions of some current events in comics and catching up with some reads this week for sure, and looking at what's to come, what's to be excited about. We're going to do all that right after this. And that's the intro we get tonight. Mm-hmm. Dude, I'm still flying high from Tron. Paul knows firsthand. Paul's about to be on a side quest in the coming days. He's gonna be questing hard for me.
Nice.
But looking forward to that, Paul. Paul is strategically located somewhere, and big shout out to the homie Bryant for reminding me of such a thing. And it's official. I'm excited to say this. I was telling Paul this. At least between now and I'd say it's safe to say March. Between now and March, I'm Disney's #1 fan. Like, we need to put it out there. I'm Disney's best fan. They're most energetic, their most diehard spokesperson. They need me at this point. They're lucky to have me. But between Tron and Avatar at the end of the year, I'm very, very happy that Disney has me.
You're just a Disney shill.
I'm going to wear the shirt. I'm going to get the shirt out. I have the shirt. It says Disney shill. Big shout out and thank you to Nick's Kicks and Comics for hooking me up with the Disney shill shirt. It's applicable now. Very applicable. I'm going to be excited to rock it. You know, I say it all the time. I try to call balls and strikes. If they make something and I believe in it and I can defend it, I'll stand by it and I'll fight for it. You know, they need to know when they hit a home run. It's important for Marvel, DC, Disney, 20th Century Fox, any of the stuff that we like. It is important that if you're a fan of it, you let them know. You let them know. And if you're not a fan of it, it's important for you to let them know. Good faith, though. Good faith is key. Like, I wouldn't listen to just trash criticism. Like, Steve, you've been on YouTube long enough. When you just get like what's obviously shallow, just bait comments on a video or something.
Oh yeah.
It's just thanks for watching. I mean, you can't even engage in the conversation. You just thanks for your time, and then you just move on with your life and never think about it again. I assume that's how these big companies do it.
Tron needs to make a lot more money.
Yeah,
to be profitable, but that doesn't mean it's not a good film. Like, I feel like a lot of time, like, I haven't seen it yet, by the way, but I know there's been a lot of films that were really good that did not make a ton of money, and a lot of bad films that made a ton of money. You know what I mean? But they are in the business of making money, and they need to make a lot more because right now they're at 103 million.
Yeah, 54 million domestic.
Yeah, it needs to do a lot better than that. And I haven't seen it yet either, so I it's my fault, guys.
Yeah, I blame you and Bleak. I talked to Bleak today. He's gonna get around to it. But I will remind everyone there's 2 movies that I would point out that weren't financial success for Disney, but they became cult classics, and they made enough money on the back end and created a fandom for them that it allotted a 3rd movie.
Were they both named Tron?
One of them was. The other one was named Tron Legacy, but both of them were theatrical failures, but they caught the back end money along the way. And in this new era, I mean, I don't know what that looks like. I did that whole Superman breakdown video of how Warner Brothers is actually happy with the rollout of Superman, while at the box office, if you just take that number alone, it just squeaked by and just hit break even kind of thing. But when you look at all the marketing deals, when you look at all the social media accounts that run Superman footage that they own all of on all these platforms, when you look at the streaming numbers and all that stuff, that's the modern day equivalent. When you compound all of that, that's the modern day equivalent of physical media sales a decade plus ago. So it's going to be interesting.
How appropriate and ironic would it be if Tron Ares did best in streaming as opposed to in the theater?
Yeah, I think it definitely will.
I could see that.
I'm sure it will. Like, when it drops, I mean, that's even the worst reviewed movies out there, the biggest bombs out there, when they hit streaming, they're like, hey, look, massive streaming success this week with blah blah blah. Well, of course, a new movie drops. People are curious. They don't have to risk anything. They're already at home. They're in their underwear.
People have to go to the grid to watch Tron Ares.
Yeah. Yeah, but the downside to Ares, they didn't do much. Marketing is not the word. They didn't do heavy marketing for it. They definitely did some, because I follow Jared Leto and stuff, and I see where he's made some pop-up appearances at places. but they didn't do all the brand deals like you saw with Superman. We talked about that
Oh my
early on.
God, dude. Yeah. The Superman made so much money off brand deals and merchandise. So
Yeah.
much money.
You could see the footprint that movie had was massive months before its release. It was everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And Tron Ares doesn't necessarily have that. They have a couple of items at Hot Topic, and I think that's all outside of the actual Disney parks.
I will say with Superman, compared to Tron, I feel like Tron's more of like a worldwide movie. Like I don't feel like that many people consider it to be an American movie, which it is, of course. But like Superman made a ton of money domestically, a ton of money domestically. Had it made anything close to what it normally makes worldwide, it would be $1 billion movie, or at least 800 million, right? Like
if we still had the China market, which I
mean,
I had a long
China,
conversation. I had a long conversation about this on Mad Spidey's stream. I know a lot of people were kind of like talking about how Superman's a very American character, a very Americanized product.
It is.
You know?
It is.
And
But
they're like,
oh,
politics.
The same problem though.
Well, I was about to say, like this China thing is not tied to Superman. If you look at the movies across the board for the last 18 to 24 months, China market is not there anymore. Coming out of COVID, and the technology gap between Hollywood films and foreign films has now shrunk with technology becoming more accessible, CGI being like better and everything. So foreign countries would love American movies because it was a spectacle.
Right.
Like you don't see anything like this except in American film. Well, now you do. So they're just investing in their own cinema now.
I mean, China's doing the same thing with movies that they're doing with everything else, and that they're basically really pushing homegrown movies.
Yeah,
and I totally get it. I totally get it.
Mhm.
And you know, Korea is doing the same thing with their music sensation right now that lasts 5-10 years, whatever it is, and all these other places they're trying to push their homegrown stuff. While as America used to dominate forever, and it's not that way anymore. And like the biggest franchise ever. Yeah, Mission Impossible, which is like one of the biggest franchises ever. Its last movie didn't do very good either. So it's just the way it is post COVID. You got to figure out different ways to make money, and DC did with its brand deals, like we talked about. So
they definitely did. Definitely figured it out. I hope Tron Ares sees some kind of life. But well before this, I'm one of the few outspoken Tron fans and Avatar fans. I like this to dive into these worlds. I compare Tron. And it might have been you I was talking to, Steve, like to Terminator with how much lore is available there. Like you can sit down and talk about like the concepts of this movie universe infinitely, like with the possibilities and stuff and the little nuances to it. And I absolutely love it.
They've only pulled off a drumstick. The whole chicken is still there, man. The whole chicken is still there.
It is
a lot of meat on that bone for sure.
But yeah, we're gonna chit chat and just kind of free range chit chat tonight since we're doing chicken puns. Free range chit chat. Well, let's say hey to the live chat. We got Las Crucias in here. Hooray! Good to see him back. It is genuinely good to see him back on a consistent basis. Glad you're back, brother. We got DJ Links in here dropping that 48-month member milestone. # We Are Legion MFers. Got Omnibo, and as a reminder, Omnibo and the Aussie crew are going to be hosting a Comics Curing Cancer stream that's going to be going down on the rollover night. It'll be our Saturday night to Sunday, 12 a.m. kickoff. It says 12 a.m. to 6 a.m., but that's just an open stream. He'll go and do whatever he sees fit for that time era based off what they have going on. But it's going to be a good time. I appreciate Bo and the crew for stepping up and helping out this year. Got Pop in here. Let's go Legionnaires. Got the custom emojis. You get access to those by joining the channel membership, by the way, and probably have to probably need to show off what I have for that Legion loot tonight, because next week I can't promise I'll be here. Paul will probably be here hosting if I can't be here. Depends on how the weekend goes. I think last year Brother John stepped in on C3 weekend for me. We got J-Med in here, a successful Kickstarter. I was singing his praises, talking about him today at ABX with a local comic creator who had some trepidations about crowdfunding. He's kind of a part of the old method of promoting and getting a book out there, like making the book, printing the book, taking it to places to put it on shelves and all that. And I was telling him he should probably talk to you about the process and the fears, the pros, the cons, the do's, the don'ts. Living the dream. What's going on, Kev? Entropy in Comics. Greetings, program. It is Morphin time. It's a big spec week. Okay, I'm interested.
I don't know about that.
I don't know what are people
mean,
speculating on this week.
I don't know. There's a couple number ones from Marvel come out, of course, because they drop like 3 number ones every single week. I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of indies, I guess, but I mean, I don't know.
Let us know, Kev. What are you specking on this week, Kev? What's going on? 34 Easy. Good to see you in here. I see that channel member badge next to your name. Appreciate you. Collector P, what is going on? DC watching this stream through their tears. Oh, you know, they're still number one in my heart. And we can talk about that. I culled the pull list finally. I massively culled the pull list in preparation for those the other DC books coming.
The next level?
The next literally, I culled the pull list for that. Because remember, we were looking at that list for the stuff that's the next level title announcements.
There are 4 number ones coming out from Marvel.
Got to get that money somehow. DC's taking it all from them.
And they're about to do it again with that next level you just showed.
Yeah, and also not only that, but they also they didn't announce, but it was reported that even their ongoing series, a lot of them will be restarting with number ones because the Batman blind bags did so well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I want to know how good DCKO did.
What do y'all think about the blind bag craze? Like the not just the Mark Spears ones, or just that they're so popular that every company's trying to do them right now and find ways to do them. And well, what are y'all's thoughts on that? Because there's a lot of opinions out there.
Well, I liked it to begin with. I think it was a fun idea. I'm surprised it took this long to do. Like it kind of feels like the trading card stuff that they've been doing for a while. I don't know how sustainable it is when it's $10 versus $5 for a cover A. I think it's something you need to do maybe once or twice a year if you're DC or Marvel or whatever, but I don't know. It's here to stay. I know that. I know it's here to stay.
Yeah, that's my concern is, I mean, if we didn't learn anything from the 90s, it's that, you know what, these gimmick things, they run red hot and then suddenly they're not anymore. And you could end up with a lot of people that just basically have, worthless comic books. And I just hope it doesn't do any long-term damage. I don't think it's sustainable either, really, in the long term.
DCKO sold number one, sold as many copies as Absolute Batman 13 did. Both sold 200,000 copies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more blind bags then. So my thoughts on it is, for one, I'm always pro gimmick, foil, die cut.
Oh, I love the foil. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
I love all foil.
That's why I started with foil. I was immediately trying to shift your perspective to my side here. But foils, blind bags, die cuts.
Did what not?
You want to do those sound effects covers they did? Do those. Like any because when it comes down to it, it's not a this instead of that. I don't have to pay $10 for nothing if I don't want to. Hell, there's numerous variants out every week with $1 more on the cover price that I don't buy because I want my cover A's. But if you're telling me that we didn't lose a single sell that we had and all we did was increase sales, why wouldn't we do them is my thing. What could it potentially hurt?
It needs to be periodically though, like once a quarter, in my opinion, for a bigger number one release like the new Batman number one or DCKO.
Yeah, you don't need a Batwoman number one.
They're doing it for Harley Quinn and a bunch of other titles. We don't need that crap.
That's the thing is I'm worried that they're going to do so many of these blind bags that that the New Gods type things won't happen anymore because they're not doing those things.
Oh, those acetates, those were amazing.
No, but I mean, like a New God series won't because people won't be buying them anymore because they're spending all these monies on these blind bags instead.
Oh, the finite amount of money in a wallet being more the problem than anything else. Yeah. I just think that there's a huge, coming from being a primary reader first, I kind of see there's like such a different market for the blind bag craze buyers and the other, because
the readers versus
there's people out there pre-ordering 10s, 20s, 100 copies of blind bags. Those are not the people that have a pool list. Those are the people that cover collect or stuff like that. And it's all welcome. It's all good. But the vast majority of those people, that finite amount of money in their wallet never even gets close to being touched. But with blind bags, they might have tapped on it a little bit. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a separation in there, and they're going to burn out. Like nothing lasts forever, especially not in a hobby. And my fear is they're super fun, and if they do them too frequently, it'll shorten our time span of fun.
Exactly.
I'm going to have my fun.
Now, do you prefer like the way DC is doing it, where you charge more and you get the foil of an A cover, as opposed to Mark Spears, where you maybe only charge $1 more, but you get a different cover. You know, you get one of like 8 million covers.
Well, first off, Mark Spears did it the most right, but there wasn't a direct market cover to really compare it to. And I say he did it the most right just because the $5.99 bag price. That's amazing, and they're all card stock at the very least. So that's just you're paying standard shelf price for that book. It just happens to be blind. Now, I would have some criticisms on the sorting and everything, but that's no. I mean, stuff happens. It was a learning curve for Keen Spot with the sorting of the books and everything. Things happen. Big deal. You know, big deal. You still only paid cover price for a book, even less if you pre-ordered it. So,
did Whatnot start this craze with their
absolutely
blind bags they did for like what was it, like the X-Men,
the trading card bags or whatever?
And the Daredevils or whatever. Yeah.
Bryce Comics even did one.
Yeah.
Like they didn't invent
those are fun.
blind bags for no reason, dude. I got the Sergeant Rock versus the Army of the Dead that they did with the Frank Quitely cover. I got, in order to get my Matina Deceased variant for Supergirl for War of the Undead Gods, I had to buy it in a blind bag. Like blind bags have been around for a long time, but this current craze hype, most certainly Whatnot deserves credit for that because they did them good too. They definitely did them good. They're fun.
They are fun. I agree with that.
There you go. I'll link y'all up, J-Man. Predator Kills the Marvel Universe #3. I went through issue #1. Who was I talking? I think I was on stream, like not a live stream. I was on stream and I went through Predator Kills the Marvel Universe #1 and thought it was fantastic, to be honest with you. Like really fantastic. Dipping into the well too often. Yeah, that's definitely it. And I hate to see that Marvel was so late to the game on it as well, because they're looking to do it for the Ultimates, and I've got the retailer email that has the list of all the covers that will be inside the blind bags.
Yeah, and Mark Spears is doing another one in December for Monsters #8.
Wow.
I think, right?
Wow,
he is. It's kind of wild. I after seeing what Mark Brooks is going to be doing the main cover for the Ultimates, but for the Marvel blind bags, it's Mark Brooks, Derek Chu, Kafu, Chip Zdarsky, Dan Panosian, Alexander Lozano, Peach Momoko, Sanford Green, Ryan Stegman, Scotty Young, black and white version variant cover by Scotty Young, blue line blank variant cover. And then they'll have a couple of them that are so these are going to be regular covers in here, but they're going to have a couple that are
one other thing I thought of. If I can get $1,000 comic book every single time, I'm all for them.
Yeah, for real, right? Shout out to you.
That puts you so far ahead. You got room to lose now.
So what are you spending that money on? What'd you get instead? What are you getting instead?
I sold it for like $1,100, whatever. And I actually, on one of the things I bought was on
Only Slabs
this past Saturday. It was the first appearance of the Doom Patrol.
Nice. I need to go back and watch that now. I got time to listen to it on my way to work.
Is that a mystery in space, right?
Adventures in mystery. Hold on a second.
I don't think that Battle Beast started it, to be honest with you. It was before that.
Oh no, Battle Beast didn't start nothing.
It's My Greatest Adventure.
Yeah, My Greatest Adventure. There was multiple Whatnot ones and the Bryce Comics one all before the Battle Beast one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All on Whatnot.
And like I said, the ones that I mentioned with that Sergeant Rock and that the War of the Undead Gods, those were within the last couple of years as well.
Taylor is like, My Greatest Adventure, noobs. He's like, it's one of his favorite books.
Dude, yeah, there you go, Sledge. Yeah, the Fiendish recommendation. It was Trick or Read Day today, and Irene Straczynski, aka Renee Draws on social media. She's a phenomenal writer, artist, and Michael Rushbrook, local legend, artist extraordinaire. He did that original Godzilla piece for the C3 art book, and that original art up here that was in the C3 art book this year. That one will be going up for auction this year. But he's done some work with her, and that's what got me linked in with her stuff. But I picked up her books the last time she was in Augusta for Free Comic Book Day. Read them. I enjoyed them, and it's not normally up my alley. It's just kind of fantasy stuff. And the wife even read them and enjoyed them. They're really good, really good. But she's definitely a creator worth supporting. She worked at Marvel, got blacklisted at Marvel. She found herself amongst the Comicsgate crew, and then she's like, this isn't for me either, and kind of just does her own thing now. I mean, she has a great following. She does a lot of cool live streams and stuff. Phenomenal creator. Blind bags suck. I don't do Pokemon. Stop messing with comics.
Wow.
Good to see you here, Drew. What's going on, Vet? Hey, if folks want blind bags, just hit me up on Pop Static. Be happy to stick one. Comment. There you go.
Right.
Mark D. DePeers, not to be confused with his doppelganger, but Mark DePeers and Hickman did it the most right, in my honest opinion. I think Mark DePeers did pretty well.
Yeah,
Did pretty well.
I said this yesterday too on Only Slides, but they need to make the bags a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I had a problem with just one of them. The rest slid out fine. Walking Dead did one.
Power Rangers did blind bags as well last year at SCCC.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah,
they did, and I have them all now.
Yeah, Marvel being late to the game is what they do. Yeah, Marvel doing one-of-one sketches. Yeah, My Greatest Adventure, noobs. What is going on, Metal Elf? Yeah, so I've got, man, I don't know if y'all want to see it, but there's some really cool covers. The Mark Brooks main cover is awesome, but they're just going to be standard covers, but there are a lot of sketch covers that you can be chasing, one-of-one sketch covers that you can chase with the Ultimates. What is it? The end of the Ultimate Universe? But these are
it's coming up.
Yeah, here's the pictures of the actual sketch covers. You got what's his name? Reed Richards there.
The maker?
Yeah, that's it. Really cool Wolverine, Ario, and then I don't know. But yeah, you got a little chibi Doctor Doom, just a head sketch there from Corey Smith. A really good David Marquez, Scarlet Witch. But yeah, these are the chases. There's some really cool stuff in there. I mean, really, really well done. The Bagley Spider-Man. But these things will probably be the most valuable chases we've seen in a blind bag yet. Marvel main characters, Todd Knox. So you got top tier artists doing it and stuff.
We're totally going to start seeing blind bags from all the artists, like J. Scott Campbell, Clayton Crane, Scotty Young. Like all of these artists are about to start dropping blind bags for sure.
Yeah, probably. Mark Spears ones were wildly successful. I don't think from a sales figure number, amazing, but from a secondary, from a collector standpoint, unless you're just trying to keep copies, kind of caught it going in. I think that this is going to be what absolutely saturates the market for Mark Spears, because he's been on cloud 9 as the hottest artist in the game for a good little minute now. And a lot of that has to do with him being new. His artwork speaks for itself. It's phenomenal. But the chasing of it and the higher value of it was, a lot of it has to do with scarcity. A lot of people weren't in early on and they were chasing stuff down later, in fact. So that's going to push it all over the limit. Everyone can get a cover now. What's going on, Ray? Good to see you in here, buddy. Like your alternate account. Make sure you hit the thumbs up while you're here. Hot take.
I bet we get blind bags for all of those next level stuff. Maybe not all of them, but I bet there's a handful we get blind bags for.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious how the Mark Spears, what do you call it, Christmas bags are going to do. I think pre-sale wise, I don't think anybody was late to the game with the trick or treat ones. So I don't know. I think a lot of people might back off a little bit with the Christmas ones. And Christmas is a little bit different time of year. It's good that they're pre-selling them now, because a lot of people spend a lot of money, hold a lot of money. They got a lot of stuff that they have to do otherwise. Tyler Kirkham and Mike Mayhew both have bags, I think. Yeah, a lot of artists are doing it now. Mm-hmm. I know that Big Time Collectibles did the Crow blind bags for NYCC, and those were really fantastic. There was one comic per bag. That had numerous different artists doing covers, and they had a standard, a foil, and a remarked or signed chases in there. There's some good stuff. Yeah. From what I heard early on, he pulled him off the edge with the success of Monsters, which is awesome. I hope they take care of him. I forget what company it was that about the same time he had that Return of the Living Dead miniseries come out, and there's a little kerfluffle on the business end of that, where I don't want to speak for him, but at the time he was no longer going to be putting books out through that company because it just wasn't a pleasant experience for whatever reason. Canadian Survivalist, what is going on? But yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. I mean, I like the monster stuff, and that's a good point. Paul, you opened one of those, right? You got the Monster and the Wolf book, didn't you?
I did. I actually have opened 2. I have 6 more coming, but I opened 2, and those are the 2 that I got.
Oh, let me pull you over here. Oh, you got one of the ones that I legitimately wanted.
I watched your unboxing. I watched Dave's as well.
Yeah, I legitimately didn't know a single cover that was in these ahead of time. I didn't stop to look or care, but let me.
You were doing the same thing that I did. You open it and you go to the back cover and find out. Oh, look, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, but that creature one I absolutely love. It's kind of one of the lovely lady covers. Plus, it's creature, and it almost reminds me of Nightmare on Elm Street, like not a direct homage, but a concept homage. But yeah, I scored one of those monster head covers, little retro cover. Yeah. The one that I chose to keep was this one, Cheer, for my one keep copy. Because when he first announced this, I went and looked at it on Kickstarter because he kickstarted it first. And when I checked it out, the way that it was formatted on Kickstarter, because I just wanted to get 3 issue 1, 2, and 3. It's only a 3-issue mini. I wanted just the A covers, and you couldn't back it at just the A covers. You can get like issue 1 and 2, or 1 and 3, or 2 and 3. A set of A's, a set of B's, and so you couldn't just simply get it. And I actually talked to him about it, and he said there was a little bit of oversight, so he was going to update the Kickstarter, and I never went back and looked, so that's kind of on me. But I'm just happy to have got to read it, and I was surprised with it too.
Yeah, we were talking about it before when we did the DC deep dive. It's actually a really good story, I think. I actually like that story better than what he's been doing in Monsters. It has
1,000%.
It has more of a story to it than what he's been doing. Monsters has kind of just been like, let me just see how many monsters I can throw into it, and all over the place and everything. This has a really good story to it.
Yeah, I'm really hoping Monsters kind of like comes together in some way or fashion. I'm not sure how many issues are left in the series, but I think it has a huge task ahead of it to make all these elements kind of come together into a cohesive narrative. I'm not sure how that's going to work. The Monster and the Wolf, though, it just starts out like with this cool little story with him like walking with a guy hiking through the snow to an outpost where he's trying to meet up with some scientists for reasons. And you come to find out while he's hiking, he's telling this really cool story that he was taught of a monster and a wolf, and how it's important to not be the monster, and how the responsibilities of being the wolf. And you get to the outpost, you find out he's a wolf man. He's getting there for the research of this vial, and hopefully can stop him from becoming the wolf man. And he gets double crossed by one of the scientists there. And you find out that this eternal battle against Frankenstein, and Frankenstein has been following him, and he has arrived, and he rips the scientist to pieces.
He totally Superboy primes him.
He does. He does. And you also find out that in the allegory, the monster and the wolf, it kind of gets this little twist flip where the wolf man sees himself as the monster and Frankenstein as the noble wolf trying to take on more of that protector role. And I like how it gave us a little bit of the backstory of the monster. You don't do flashbacks, but just why he became kind of a monster versus that. I mean, it goes back to Mary Shelley's, like his life was rough, and even coming back from the dead the way he did, the events that transpired after that are unfortunate and kind of hardened his heart, and he's extremely hardened. But I'm excited for more of it. This was a breath of fresh air as a Universal Monster fan, and riding along for Monsters. Kind of this is what the feeling and the tone and style of this is what I was really looking for that first Monsters, and it nailed it in this. What is going on, Joffrey? You bring up Superboy Prime. Now, something Steve and me were talking about, he got caught up on some reading here recently. And
I did.
This is definitely Superboy Prime related.
I like how he breaks the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan Jurgens is going to be pissed.
Who are you talking to? Yeah, Dan Jurgens is going to be pissed.
Yeah. And that's so appropriate, too. What's funny is, wasn't it we had just, last time you were here, we just went through the new history of the DC universe.
Oh, dude, I just read issue 3 today.
Perfect, because you remember in there we have the rebirth of Jason Todd. How people were saying that they're rewriting and slightly changing his coming back.
Yeah, but they didn't really like make it 100% like one way or the other.
Exactly, and Superman's current issues with the Legion of Superheroes confirms that it was just a save time and explanation thing.
They totally could have added another box like right there.
They should have, but I think I think, you know how I played the yarn game in my head with DC continuity? With Superboy Prime having a slight little update to the character where he's breaking the fourth wall, that's only because historically that's what he did and messed up the continuity when he broke through the fabric of reality to get everybody out.
Which is what he did in Superman 30 or 29
Yeah,
or whatever it was.
yeah. So the fact that they're playing into that being a key aspect of his character now confirms that he did it.
Right.
Which means that's how Jason woke up in that grave.
Yes.
Like I'm holding on to that because I love that piece of DC history. Like I remember I remember going into the comic shop after school and picking up that issue of Crisis and looking at Superboy with bloody knuckles punching through there and the ripples. I'm like, this is insane. And them confirming that a couple of years ago when we thought we saw Jason and Hush, but it was really Clayface. It was actually Jason. He was there with Clayface. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so I would hate to lose that touch of DC history. It matters to me. But
he's Doomsday, but he's the time trapper. He's
been in Superman for like 6 issues, or more.
So Time Trapper is a character
he's been lots of people. Superboy Prime was Time Trapper at one time.
Give him some context here, Paul.
So Time Trapper is basically a person who is at the end of time, and he basically sees everything from the end of time, he kind of shows up every once in a while to basically just say, you're going to screw up the rest of. He comes back every once in a while, just say you're screwing up time, and stop it, basically, or I'll end you, and you'll have no future.
Yeah. And when Joshua Williamson took over Superman, one of the first things that they did is they introduced the Time Trapper into this, which is a Doomsday. And the whole thing with Doomsday is you kill him, he comes back. You kill him, he comes back, and he's evolving each time. You can never take him out the same way twice. The ultimate conclusion of Doomsday would be at a place of being a Time Trapper where he is at the end of time. And he has gotten to this place not by sheer brute strength. I'm sure that this Time Trapper Doomsday can probably punch the soul out of you from across the room, even though he doesn't look like it.
Oh yeah.
But he's the one that has ushered in the context of the DC KO slowly through the Superman stuff, trying to align people, get the World Forger. I mean, there's a lot of cosmic elements outside of just Time Trapper that they've played into this, but he's trying to potentially save the entirety of the DC universe from the coming King Omega dark side, which they've been building up for over a year now.
That was everyone's biggest issue with sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Just want to say real quick. That was everyone's main issue with DCKO was they're like, who is this Time Trapper? I didn't know I needed to be reading Superman to know who he is.
Yeah, and he's been lots of different characters. Like I said, I think in the Jeff Johns Legion of Three Worlds, he was Superboy Prime was Time Trapper then. So he's been lots of different people, and then he's been just kind of mysterious. He's just kind of been. He was originally a Legion of Superheroes villain. They would fight the Time Trapper. So.
Ooh, let's see. We might not be doing good here.
What's going on?
I was seeing who predates who, Kang or Time Trapper. Looks like they both came out in 1964.
Yeah. A little Silver Age action.
A little Silver Age battle. It's always interesting to see because I love the little battles that Marvel and DC had. The race to put a swamp character out.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's only so many like genres of superheroes. We want to time travel
stuff.
Yes. X-Men is a direct knockoff of what, Paul?
That's what I said this is the first appearance of the X-Men.
Yep. And then read the blurb on there.
Oh my God. Okay.
Because if you go back and read the blurb on
origin and first appearance of Doom Patrol, Dr. Niles.
No, on the actual cover itself.
Oh, sorry. Reborn out of disaster, 4 survivors rose again to form the Legion of the World's Strangest Heroes.
The World's Strangest Heroes. And if you go read like the blurb on the X-Men, it's like the same thing.
Same verbiage.
Yeah, it's like the same thing, but with the world's strangest heroes and the world's oddest teams and stuff. It's really funny.
Led by a man in a wheelchair.
Yeah, led by a man in a wheelchair. Now, Niles. I wonder how many people realize that the Fantastic Four is just a knockoff of the Challengers of the Unknown.
Not many people know about the Slade and Wade Wilson stuff, or you know, Darkseid and Thanos and all of that. There's a whole bunch of characters. There's a whole bunch of them.
Now, I give Marvel credit for getting there first with the aquatic character, but
I'm gonna say
I
the
don't.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then Hawkeye was a ripoff of Green Arrow, and
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, you guys see Kirkman say that Superman sucks and an Omni-Man would beat him? Like, dude, come on. You created Omni-Man as a copy of Superman. Like,
I've seen that little
seriously,
animated thing on social media where it's
He
like
literally-
one of the final battles from one of the episodes of Invincible, but someone has gone back and reanimated it where Kingdom Come Superman shows up and catches Conquest's fist during the fight and then just drags everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're
We got
gonna-
DJ Links in here throwing around some big boy money, gifting 5 Legion
Heyo.
of Comics membership. Big shout out. You get some Snyderverse. This guy
I
would
love it.
body Omni-Man. He would body Omni-Man.
Oh my god, yeah, he would.
Yeah, it's all the same. It's fun. It's just fun comic history at that point. I like having both. X-Men is far superior to Doom Patrol. That I won't concede. Oh, I'm not arguing on which one's better, just which one came
Which one
more-
is first? Yeah.
Yeah. Thoughts on Constantine 2 being announced. The first one is a guilty pleasure when it comes on TV. Oh, I love Constantine, dude. We were reporting on that as they announced it in the script debacles. I don't know if it's gotten anywhere past. I think that's where they're at right now, right? They got a script that passed, and that's it.
yeah,
I think
they
so.
were. I thought that they were still looking at that. They were just looking at a second script now.
I will agree with Drew Manchu on this. They're both cosmic kind of characters. The Darkseid is like, they're very hard to compare at this point. Darkseid is.
Well, and they try to actually make, I think Mongol is supposed to actually be
I was
like a
gonna say-
copy of Thanos.
I mean, Thanos and Mongol, and Jim Starlin created both of them, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. He did.
What Superman? Yeah, Namor was no joke. He's still no joke. He doesn't get the proper love. I could say the same thing about a lot of characters, but Namor just, for whatever reason, he just hasn't resonated strongly with the Marvel readers. You know, that's why they try to reinvent him from time to time, changes, do the suit change up, add the mutant aspect to it, this and that. Luckily, Aquaman has had a fairly successful history because it's good to have at least one really cool Atlantean character. Because that's really where like my love for those aquatic guys come in, is that just fun Atlantis lore. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Eternals, New Gods, pure coincidence. Well, that's a fun Jack Kirby history right there, going back to Marvel and wanting, because Jack Kirby low key was writing his own story. It doesn't matter how you draw the characters or what you name them. It's kind of like if you get into like the Kirby lore, it's all like he's continuing this one big cosmic odyssey that he had in his mind. But Fourth World is some of the most untouchable stuff in comics, in my opinion. It's wild. Hey, the X-Men are the strongest heroes of all. I'll see that will of all in there. So radically different. I'll take my apology on behalf of the X-Men in writing, please. Paul will get right to that.
I'm not writing any apology to the X-Men that are fictional characters. They don't get an apology from
No,
me.
you got to apologize to AR.
I'll have AI send you something.
There you go. Yeah, we'll just get Grok.
Yeah, if you want an apology, just ask AI. They'll
Yeah.
give it to you.
Namor is one of the best heroes. They needed to leave him alone and actually make him the a-hole he is. Yeah, I think that's what really sets him out, right? That's what sets him aside. Now, I feel like they started, like maybe like just for a millisecond, started to lean into it a little bit with Wakanda Forgettable and kind of got cold feet, or I don't know. It wasn't his movie. You know, he's just a supporting cast villain character. So there's only so much you can do in that aspect. Unless you wanted to make a good movie with a good villain, then you could have done it differently. But I don't think that was ever their goal, was to make a good movie. So we get what we get.
And there goes the Disney show.
And he's back. Hick Vengers was the man. I don't think I saw that one. But yeah, what did you think of the DC KO buildup, Steve, now that you've caught up on some of your reading?
I actually enjoyed it a lot more. What's interesting is I go back and read it after reading DCKO because, you know, shout out Scott Snyder for hooking me up with an advanced copy and getting to read it, and it was amazing. Which, by the way,
Yeah, you kind of cut in line and threw off the reading order a little bit.
I did, but reading a physical copy is still the best possible way to enjoy comic book content. You have to buy the physical copy to enjoy it the way it was supposed to be. enjoyed.
It
Reading
is
it.
sweeter if you take him out of a blind bag, right? That's what I'm told.
I don't know. I actually did want another blind bag, but there was 0 left in Topeka when I got off work that Wednesday. 0 left. But I do have one coming at some point from Paul. But
You know
yes,
what's great is I got the one I wanted out of the first blind bag pool that I did was
insane.
Mark Spear's Dark Side.
But no, I enjoyed it a lot more. Like it's kind of like when you watch a movie the second time, you notice things. You notice stuff that they put out there, like, oh man, how did I not pick up on that? Right? Like that's what it was like going back and reading Superman 29 and 30 and being like, oh man, I totally didn't see that. And then I read obviously the Justice League Omega special. Same thing. There was a bunch of stuff I didn't notice, in DCKO that I was like, oh shoot, yeah, they laid the groundwork for that in this book. So it was really fun. It was
Yeah,
great.
this is a fantastic question. If a person really liked KO issue 1, what could I read for backstory to kind of, in all sincerity, like it's a proper DC event. And what I mean by that is this isn't something that was thrown together. This isn't something they planned on doing and they didn't coordinate with the entire bullpen of writers they have. They mapped it out, they planned it out, they storyboarded, they put benchmarks along the way that certain titles need to address this or mention this, and none of those things ever interrupted those ongoing series. But now that we get to DCKO, you see how much was very important to building out the little details. But if you want to just get like the nuts and bolts of like the countdown to KO, if they were to have done those, which they should, they need to go back to doing those. You need to read what Steve's holding in his hand right there.
Superman 29. Well, really, actually, go back to like 25.
Superman? Well, you can, but these are the necessities.
Superman 29 and 30, Justice League the Omega special, and then
which is the prelude.
This is a prelude, and then Justice League Unlimited 10 and 11.
So there's 3 issues of Superman that make up the Legion.
29, 30, yeah.
Yeah, it makes up the Legion of Darkseid. And you need to, I'm saying all this assuming everyone read the DC All-In special that kickstarted the current writing initiative at DC. So you read that, which that creates the absolute universe. That's where Darkseid ascends, where everyone assumes he dies, but he ascends. Yep. And then in the Justice League books and the Superman books that are all the 3 issues rolling up to KO, and then that Omega Pack prelude, that'll get you the nuts and bolts of everything.
Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure that All-In special is still doing numbers on eBay. Let me look real quick.
First appearance of the absolute characters, the 1 in 25 is a beautiful John Jang variant.
It's going for $25 on eBay, $22 to $25
for the A cover.
For the cover A,
hit the 1 in 25. See what it's doing. A lot of times the A covers just stand above the rest because when you think of a first appearance of something in your brain, you close your eyes, you picture an A cover of it. It's not often the variant.
John Jang, yeah, it's going for $50.
Let's go.
Yeah.
First appearance of all 3 of your absolute Trinity characters, which we're well after the fact for DCKO now. They make their official tease that they're in the tournament, which shouldn't be a shocker considering all the extracurricular characters are now announced in there.
And who's writing it, of course. And the creator of the absolute universe. Yep.
He created that absolute universe in Death Metal, right?
Technically, yes. Technically, Death Metal, issue number 7, that's when the Elseworld is first discovered in the multiverse. And the Alpha, what do they call it? Was it called the Alpha World? No, they named it the Elseworld, but that's the world that they're exploring in the DC All-In special number 1 when the Darkseid creates. Yeah. KO is just metal number 3. I don't disagree at all.
It's not as dark. I'll say that.
Oh, I don't know.
Not yet, at least.
Yo, they definitely offed a bunch of characters right out the gate. Damage got stepped on and killed. Batman got killed right out the gate.
Yeah, and Shazam and Blue Beetle, they're all gone right away.
Yeah. I would definitely, and we have World Forger in here, and who's the other one do we have in here? Is Barbados in here? There was
Perpetua.
No, it was our other kid. Why are you out of bed?
Because I wanted to ask you my movies over.
Hey, Finn.
Hi.
What up, dude?
Hi. Daddy just downloaded bought a new thing that's basically a Tron
In
Minecraft.
Minecraft, yeah.
Never would have guessed that.
And it even has the disc that
The
Aries
identity
has.
disc? Yeah.
Has the light cycles, the likes, and also the sky drone looking thing that they could ride on, and also the little
Kind of like jet ski, the one on the water.
jet ski at the end of the movie, and only 2 of them. The one that flies in the air does not have the light trail.
And he made you give him the shirt off your back to play.
The motorcycle and the jet ski are the only 2 with the light trail.
Pop said, "Get your butt in bed, lady."
That's amazing.
Bye. Can you go get it? Can you turn on the new movie? Wait,
Yeah.
you actually did?
You can read it yourself.
The DC All In Special #1 cover A,
Read it.
signed by Scott Snyder, went for JSA.
Tell him good night.
Sold for 150 on a 9.8.
There you go. Yeah, he's a good one. Mark is the only kid under 35 that's excited about Tron. Well, I just gotta raise my kids right. And I don't steer them toward anything. I ask them if they want to watch something, and if they do, I let them watch it. And if they enjoy it, they enjoy it. If they don't, they don't. Like we watch stuff that you'd never expect us to watch. And we watch the new Snow White in this household because Monkey likes it, and we don't dissuade her from anything. And we support our kids and their entertainment.
There you go.
Yeah, this kid loves Tron. Dude, can you imagine an era where a kid doesn't enjoy Tron? Like whether it be the 80s, the early 2000s with Legacy, or this, like this is like some of the coolest stimulant for movies you can think of. Like even when they went back into the Flynn grid in Aries, like Finn was like, "This is amazing," because he's seen the original. So he's like,
Right.
oh. I'm like, yes. I sounded like Bit sitting next to him in the theater. yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, that threw me off. Where are we at?
I don't know. Do you want me to show out the books that I've read so far for my big old?
Yeah, let's
poll?
see the list, and we'll topic off of what you got going on. We might stop you along the way and dive into them.
Okay, so just got done reading this. The New History of the DC Universe #3. My God.
Did you catch anything the second time around going through it that stood out to you? Because we went through it on the live stream, but like you said, reading them the second time is a little different.
Dude, it was
the Jason Todd
so
thing changed after reading Superman, like the perspective on that, but it's pretty straightforward, that issue, because it's more modern.
It is. And it's funny that he talks about how he came back at the very end of the book. So I'm wondering, like, how much of this stuff that, like, when he was gone, does he actually know about? Like, how much of this is, fluid?
And 4 comes out this week, right?
It does. It does come out this week. Yep. Already talked about that. Yeah. I love the stuff with Hal Jordan being Parallax and why he became that and all of that. It was just so good, dude. Like, and I love how long this book takes to read. Like it takes like twice as long as a regular book, at least.
Honest question: do you go through all the small print stuff in the back, the extra stuff?
No, usually not. Should I?
I haven't either. Paul's worked his way through there.
I haven't read it in issue 3 yet, but I've done the first 2. I've read them through.
Yeah, written by Dave Wilgos, based on research by Mark Waid and Dave Wilgos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just a much deeper dive and tells you exactly what issues, a lot of the things that he references.
Dude, could you imagine how much time it took to make this?
So there's there's two separate artists doing crisscross applesauce with the interiors. Bo.
I love they really kind of glanced over Superman dying. Like they really glance over that. Like, and again, the stuff with Jason Todd, they kind of glance over as well. I thought that was.
Yeah, they have a lot of content to cover, and I'm
they do
curious and interested with the most recent one, because there's really nothing. Well, I guess we get through Metal. What is this one in? This one ends with Flashpoint. This one?
No, it ends with
Final Crisis. He's coming back, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
it ends with him coming back. Yeah,
and back as part of Final Crisis
with Superman coming back. No,
Barry Allen coming back.
Okay, got you.
The,
So
the,
Jeff Johns Rebirth miniseries.
the one thing that I noticed in this book that I did not know was that Harley Quinn killed Sarah Essen, which was Detective Essen in Batman Year One, who he was cheating on his wife with, and she ended up leaving and all of that. Like that, I did not know that he ended up marrying her, and not only that, I did not know that Harley Quinn killed her. So that was really interesting to read because Batman Year One, I've read it a dozen times at this point. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the interiors are Dan Jurgens and Doug Mankey, I believe, right?
They are. They put all that at the end.
So
You know
we're gonna be jam packed now that we're thinking about it. If you're just even thinking about just breezing through the timeline, we have to deal with New 52. We have to deal with Rebirth. We have to deal with Metal, Death Metal. You have to deal with.
You got to deal with Doomsday Clock, I would think too, right?
You think
We
so?
have
I
to
mean,
bring in
there's
the
been zero mention
I've
of
been waiting
Watchmen.
for this issue. I bet we get a blue person in the next issue. I bet.
I was going to say we have not seen a single Watchmen yet, which is odd considering they were created in the 80s, right? Like they should have been in here already. So I thought the stuff with Tim Drake was cool. The whole stuff with Monarch from being created by Hawk, all of that, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's all zero hour stuff.
The Reign of Superman was really awesome to read as
Yep.
well. I love that whole. I love everything about that. Yeah, I just.
Did you like the Year One animated movie, Steve? I did. I thought it was
the Batman Year One animated movie? Yes,
Yeah.
I did. Yes, I did. The first thing I thought of was Superman Year One by Frank Miller, and that god awful. That was god awful.
Now, the big question is because it's covered in there. Are you excited for the next DC animated movie?
Yes.
Which is what?
Jeremy Adams doing.
Oh my
Batman
God,
Next
yes,
Fall.
but I don't like that it's gonna be 4 parts. Like
It's gonna
that
be
doesn't make
four
sense.
parts. Yeah.
That doesn't make
Well,
sense at all. But yes, I'm very excited.
Have you seen how
Azrael
big-
is
have you
amazing.
But have you seen how big the Nightfall? Like it's a saga. Like,
Oh my
Yeah.
God, dude. Yeah. I'm like, I went to a comic book store recently in KC and like they had like the first whatever issues for it. And it was like volume 1 of 4, and it was like
Right.
this thick.
Yeah, the subsequent volumes are thinner, but the first one alone would warrant more than one movie. And if you're going to do it right, like the first one has to end with the breaking of the bat, and the second one has to like the coming of Azrael, and then
But
the
do
going
you
rogue
really
of
need 4
Azrael.
parts though? Because like
I think so.
how many people are gonna watch the whole thing? You know what I
You?
mean? I mean, I
Me?
will. I will, of
Oh.
course. I mean, Jeremy Adams, of course. He's
And I
killing
would
it.
argue the best DC animated movies that we've gotten were the multiple part ones, taking
Except for-
Crisis out of that.
Except for, I was gonna say, take out the Crisis. And
Yeah, but the
Infinite Earth.
Long Halloween, the Dark Knight Returns, and a lot of them would
Yeah.
could warrant longer parts as well.
Oh, the Death of Superman and then the Reign of Superman back to
Mhm.
back. That was phenomenal.
I guess that's kind of a good comparison too, because that was kind of comparable to
Same
Nightfall.
thing. Yes, almost the same thing. I mean, outside of one dying and basically dying. Okay. DCKO, of course.
Mhm.
Superman Unlimited 5. I talked to Mark about this yesterday. It was like real close to getting dropped from my poll list, but this one pulled me back in, man.
Yeah, I gotta say that one's been on the chopping block for me because of the whimsical one-shot nature of it. There's nothing wrong with those kind of comics, but I was talking about it Tuesday on the live stream. Like the difference between good and great matters right now because of how many great books are out there, and the ones that are I'm investing my money and it's investing me into the continuity of the DC universe, and the ones that matter with the continuity, I just enjoy so much more. So this one, they don't relaunch, but they create a brand new Superman title to coincide with the Summer of Superman, the release of the movie, and all this. I expect it to feel flagship, and this feels throwaway.
It's to me, it's by far the worst of the Superman titles going right now.
Yes.
Really? You think it's worse than like the Kryptonite Spectrum or whatever?
Oh, good point.
I'm not
Maybe
talking
not.
about miniseries. I'm talking about the regular series.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I see that. Batman, the new Batman #1 and #2, I finally read. So
All right, a little controversy going on with those.
What is that?
We'll get into it. What did you think? Brand new Batman #1, brand new creative team, Matt Fraction, Jorge Jimenez, however you say it.
Jimenez, yeah.
I get criticized for pronunciation.
So I know that they're supposed to be like their own separate issues, but actually they're pretty connected. Honestly, they're very connected.
Yeah, another lie from creators. Go figure. They said these would be standalone stories. They're not, as it shouldn't be. It's an ongoing title. It's an ongoing story.
I didn't love issue 1. I'll be completely honest. I expected more from an issue 1. Issue 2 was better, in my opinion, of the two. The art is good. I don't know. I feel
think
like
that's an understatement almost.
I feel like the writer Matt Fraction is he's trying to be like Tom Taylor by adding all these extra little things in there.
Like how they highlight the gadgets as he's using them.
Yeah, like dude, come on, we don't need that.
I'll be honest with you, I kind of love that. I feel like it's really. So I think mileage may vary with this. Like long-standing readers like yourself, like that's why you don't need it, and I don't need it. I see these gadgets often enough, but for me, I think it tonally set it a lot farther apart than Absolute and the previous run, if that makes sense. Like, how's this run going to feel different? So doing the gadget things and also the way that they presented Batman in issue 1, how he's knuckled up, visor down, he goes in ready for a fight, and he assesses the situation. Next thing you know, he's sitting down talking to Croc, who's like analyzing him with the mind of a child, trying to give him the toy because like he's like, dude, who's going to help you, kind of thing. Now I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect that. I didn't see it coming. I was expecting this bombastic kind of what are you going to do to compete with Absolute Batman? Well, the answer to that is absolutely nothing, because you can't.
This is almost like he was kind of acting like Superman in this book. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Very much Superman-like, I could take you down, but I'm not going to, because there are other ways to do that. As a father, I especially loved like how they're talking about how he's teaching Tim Drake to drive and all of that stuff. And his, Batman's son Damian is giving him a hard time with all of that. And then eventually, obviously, Tim has to drive the Batmobile, which he talks about. Man, how cool would it be to drive the Batmobile? Oh, you got to drive this piece of crap first. And he ends up having to drive him later in that issue, which I thought was great. As a father, like I felt that. I mean, I don't have a son, but I'm a father too. And like I felt that. I loved it. I thought, like I said, issue 2 was better than issue 1.
I like that they're spotlighting Tim as well. Tim doesn't another one of those Robins that just fell by the wayside, but man, he got up and he did work. He takes a bullet and keeps on trucking. And
yeah, dude. Yeah.
And a little bit of controversy. Go ahead.
I think it'll be interesting. Well, there's a couple of things. Obviously, there's one thing that we're already on a Batman number 2 when the previous volumes, Batman 162, hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah, it comes out in like what, 2 weeks? Something
November. Like that? Yeah, but then also I'm interested to see what the contents of the Shadow of the Bat during Next Level is going to be.
Yeah. Let me hear the controversy.
Is it just going to be another Batman title, or how it's going to distinguish itself from everything else?
I don't know. Is it going to pick up on that other volume?
No, I firmly speculate that Mariko Tamaki is going to be writing a standalone Batman series similar to what Dan Watters is doing, Dark Patterns. It'll probably be wrapping up before that comes out, and they're just trying to keep the shelves flush with Batman because the logo itself sells. He's
the number 1 seller. I mean, when he's selling as much as Absolute Batman 13 selling as much as DCKO number 1 with blind bags, like that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I've read the first 2, not sure how I feel about it yet. I definitely like the look of the suit and the small tech descriptions. Yeah, it's got an uphill battle to try, because everyone everyone's going to compare. But I'm digging it. I'm super hyped to have the blue and gray back. The controversy surrounding this one, and I've had numerous people direct message me, send me posts, ask me WTF, or ask me questions on what's going on with the title because they're confused. And social climate has a lot to do with it. But because Batman, at the end of issue number 1, Robin is taking down a hood and a criminal, and the cops draw down on him. In issue number 2, he's having to face off against a cop who's trying to take him in, clearly a dirty cop, while his partner's even not dirty. And there's like this 3-way standoff between Robin, the good officer, trying to stop his bad cop partner. So you have a lot of the people online, they're like, oh, Batman hates fascists. He's beating up cops. Hell yeah. And then you have people online that are like, y'all are crazy. So you have this whole thing going on. So context of this, all of y'all participating in that conversation on any kind of real world level are absolute psychos. You need to go outside, touch grass. You need to do what you need to start. You need to go down your algorithm, and you need to put a like on a steak video. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. A steak video, someone cooking or cutting steaks. This is how you reset an algorithm. Then you keep going till you see another one, and then you like that one. You keep going till you see another one, you like that one, then you completely close out your app and you go back in and you do it again. Next thing you know, your political BS is gone and you're seeing steak videos. Do that for a week. Cleanse your palate, because there's context to this. The police in Gotham have always had a corrupt element to them. There's nothing new with that.
Detective Flash.
Batman Year One is a great example of it.
Savage.
Batman 89 with Eckhart working with the gangsters. You had Flask, who was even in Batman Begins.
Harvey Dent.
You have the dirty cop moonlighting in the Iceberg Lounge in the new one. There's good cops fighting against their own system. Now, keep this in mind. Batman doesn't hate the police. His best friend is a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
Batman loves the police. Batman hates crime. Mm-hmm. If there's crime in the police department, Batman hates the crime. He doesn't hate the police department. Y'all are absolutely crazy. And that's just the real reality.
They're just trying to find anything to latch on.
Now, in terms of Matt Fractions, kudos to him. He has a brand new series he's on. But one thing he has to keep in mind, this is an ongoing series at DC, so he's carrying the water from what came before. Vandal Savage has been the commissioner.
Yes.
Vandal Savage is the commissioner in Gotham. That comes with a lot of bad actors. He's actively trying to shut down the vigilantism in Gotham. He's after Batman. And he's using willing people under his leadership to try to do that. So right off the bat, in the very beginning of Matt Fraction's run, he is addressing that. He's addressing Vandal being a terrible commissioner who's a criminal, and he's addressing Batman having to do something about it immediately because he's ready to get to his stories. In order to get to his stories, he has to get past what came before. In issue 1, Gordon is back on the force. In issue 1.
Mm-hmm. As a policeman.
So I think in not long in this Fraction run, Gordon will be back to his old job as he should.
I would imagine. I don't know if it'll happen, like which way they'll do it, but the fact that we're getting Alfred in here as a hologram makes me think at some point he will be brought back to life, because he's such a vital part of Batman to not have him in there or be, and
we have Zordon now. We have Zordon Alfred in the Batmobile. I didn't like that.
It's almost like, okay, I know you killed him, but I want him in here, so this is how I'm doing it. But I feel like most people wouldn't pick up on the fact that it's a hologram, so I don't know.
Well, is it a hologram?
Or is it just in his head?
Exactly.
Or is it just in his head? Yeah, I don't know.
Does Alfred have permanence?
Wow,
it's a circle. It's a circle.
I
compare it to what's happening with John Stewart with the construct of his sister who passed away. It shows me that you're not necessarily, you have some stuff that you need to address with yourself, with your God or your therapist, but you need to address something. You shouldn't be talking to an artificial version of your loved one because you can't let go. Like, that's not healthy in any form. And these guys are supposed to be dialed in, saving the universe and stuff. To just comment real quick, do I read Hyde Street Volume 1 or Bug Wars Volume 1? What's better? I haven't read Bug Wars, but even if I had, I would tell you Hyde Street. Ghost Machine, do or die.
Okay.
Maybe he's Zurin Al.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Is the commissioner a new character from another storyline? Vandal Savage is an immortal. He was alive during the caveman era. Meteor fell to Earth. He touched it, was granted immortality. He's been a Golden Age villain for a long time. He's been a lot of characters, bad guys. He crisscrosses around. About a year ago, he entered the Batman storyline. This amazing fight, and he ended up taking the commissioner role in Gotham. He weaseled his way in there. He also bought out Bruce Wayne's mansion out from under him. That's why he's in the brownstone in the city limits. There was all kinds of stuff that all happened under the Chip Zdarsky run. So it's just stuff that
I didn't love.
Matt Fraction inherited.
I did not love that run, to be honest. I didn't like the JT4 run either. And actually, shout out Mike V for telling JT4 it wasn't good to his face.
Yeah, it wasn't. Remember how much pushback I got from at the time. It was
they were just pushing new characters. They were pushing new characters to get books out.
Man, people didn't like me saying that wasn't a good run. Like, this isn't good, guys.
Okay, next up, Batman and Robin Year 1, number 11. This is the first book I read every single time. Mark Waid goodness. So good. Chris Samney art.
Paul, you're reading this one. This is one
Yeah.
that I'm passing on.
So good, dude. It is so good.
Only got one more issue to go.
Yeah, you're right.
So what? Catch me up. What is the happenings of this book? Because when they solicited it, they said they want to make a definitive year one for the dynamic duo that people will go back to and reference in the sense that they do with Batman year one. So I'm interested in reading it, but it's one that I figured I'd wait till it's all done because I was told it's only 12 issues. Is this one that I'm going to need to go back and read?
I love it. I love it. It deals with all the crime families in Gotham. Obviously, it deals with him having Robin and him not always following the rules, and then CPS coming and checking on him, taking him. It deals with people finding out whether Bruce Wayne is Batman or not, and it also deals with Clayface quite a bit. Clayface, I would say, is the big bad in the story, and it's just a fun, good book, dude. It's just, I don't know how else to describe it. Paul, what do you got to say?
Yeah, you explained it perfectly. It was great. It was nobody understands DC lore like Mark Waid does.
No, I agree.
He does. He builds upon what's there before while adding fresh little takes on certain things, and I couldn't recommend it enough. And if for those of you who loved Mark Waid and Chris Samney on Daredevil and Marvel, now you got him over here on Batman. So, and
it's drawn in a way to make you feel like it's supposed to be in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, kind of like the Batman animated series style. Like it's
he's got kind of like a Frank Cho type feel, kind of.
Yeah, it's good. It's really enjoyable.
There'll be a Frank Cho foil DC KO #1 in this month's Legion loot.
Okay, after I finish showing this off, I want to see the Legion loot before I get out of here. Okay, Action Comics 1090.
I love this. And this was the finale to the Superboy stuff. I thought the Superboy thing was going to be an ongoing thing that they did to separate Action from the other Superman titles.
Well, I think it is because I looked ahead to Action 1092.
1091 is the actual finale to the.
There's the last one, yeah.
But 1092, it's still based off what I read in the description of it, and based off of the cover, it looked like it's still young.
Yeah, he's still doing Superboy continuing.
Okay, dude, I don't know where I heard that.
It's a 4-part story. It's a 4-part story. So 1091's the last one of the 4 parts, but it's going to continue with that same younger Superman, I guess. So
good.
Okay, Superman 29 and 30, talked about it already. Phenomenal tie-ins, lead-ins into DCKO. Again, this one is by Joshua Williamson and Dan Mora. Shout out Dan Moore, formerly on Go-Go Power Rangers. Killed it on there.
Now on Transformers.
Oh, really? I did not know that. Justice League, the Omega Special. A direct prelude to DCKO.
Yeah, it even got the header.
Fun. So good. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, prelude to
DCKO. Talk about lazy marketing ploy. Like, dude, I don't understand how stuff wasn't trade dress with Prelude to KO, Countdown to KO months ago. Like the Legion of Superheroes thing should have had Countdown to KO for that 3-issue short arc. The Justice League Unlimited, same thing. Like, get these people buying these books and get them invested early on, because I mean those stories have been phenomenal.
10 and 11 Justice League. Only number 11 has a prelude to DCKO on it for Justice League Unlimited by Mark Waid. I love that Mark Waid, Williamson, and Snyder are all working together. And then, of course, Aquaman number 9, which is him coming back to the JLU.
Leveled up.
Yeah,
but exactly. It's a little confusing as to like the whole Mira situation. Like he thinks she's dead. She's not. It's like a different version of her or a different timeline or something. That's a whole thing. It's very confusing right now.
Yeah. So it leaves you on a cliffhanger. So it leads you to believe that in issue 1, when Atlantis was taken away, seemingly teleported away, left with this Omega-shaped Stargate arc, and him on this quest to go find her, leading him into the blue. Which, for one, Jeremy Adams is a genius for this. We have the green that Swamp Thing is the avatar of, that connects all the plant life. We have the red with Animal Man, Buana Beast, and all these characters that are attached to that. King Shark. We have the gray that is the Rot. Solomon Grundy's the avatar of. No one in the history of DC Comics has ever introduced the blue, despite having countless aquatic characters. And even myself, it was one of those things that when I'm reading it, I'm like,
How has no one thought of this?
no, I immediately thought, I wonder when they started the Blue, because I don't remember the last time I read anything about Blue. I assumed that I had when I'd never had read it. And I went and looked at some Jeremy Adams stuff, and I'm like, dude, he just invented this for this.
He's smart.
And,
He's
and
real
no matter how anyone acts today, no matter what they say about it, playing Monday morning quarterback, it was the same thing with Batman versus Superman with the whole Martha thing. Like, it's a joke now, but no one ever thought for one time and said it out loud that, isn't it a coincidence that both their names are Martha? That sentence was never uttered out loud until after that movie.
Yeah,
I agree.
As a diehard DC fan, never once even thought about it.
Jeremy Adams, Jeff Johns did the same thing with the color spectrum. It was like, how did nobody think of the color spectrum before?
And I love that they
you had green and yellow already. Why did nobody think of the rest of the color spectrum?
Yeah, and I love that they mentioned that in New History of the DC Universe #3. Final book, Team and T11. So good. One more issue of Jason Aaron, and it's going to be turned over to a new team. So
yeah, what's happened back into that Aquaman with the Blue thing, they've completely leveled him up. And when he gets into the Blue, just like going into the Parliament, it's a whole nother thing. And he finds this version of his family in there that's aged up completely. And he comes back out with Arion, Lilith, his grown version of his daughter, Andy, only for us, the reader, to find out that was not them that was teleported away. This is a different alternate future. It's a different alternate version of them that went all the way through the end of time. And the next issue, it starts off with them in the living ones, the actual ones in that bubble. But dude, I'm hyped to see Aquaman leveled up like that.
Yeah,
like having the hydrokinesis power, having the new trident that doubles as the sword. Oh my god! And then them recognizing his strength level and stuff, and kind of amping it up a little bit. Like, I would love to see him walk the dog in KO. That would be amazing.
I mean, that was done on purpose to bring him back to the JLU with him being in DC KO. They're like, have to get him back to JLU
Superman's arm just boom. I'm like, whoa. That's what we're doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and Pop's the Wonder Twin, Avatar of the Blue.
Yeah.
Aquaman, Avatar of the Blue air. Like, dude, like, and it's so obvious. And the fact that we get like classic Captain Nemo, like actual Alan Moore Captain Nemo in here is just amazing. The Nautilus drawn the same way and everything. Like, this is perfect.
I'm sure he got Alan Moore's permission first.
Of course, DC asked Alan Moore for permission. Never. Poor guy. Like, he catches it, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. But man, yeah, Aquaman. Now I know you mentioned that at the end of that last Green Lantern, you went ahead and dropped that title, Steve.
I haven't read it yet, actually. It's on so I have this whole stack that I still need to read.
Now, just looking at the cover, is it the finale to the story arc?
No, I got it because Aaron Bartling is doing the cover.
Okay.
Got
you. Now, I recently dropped a few books as well. Yeah, that is a dope cover right there.
He said he wanted to do sharks, and he's like, well, DC let me do it. So
perfect. I remember talking to Jang a long time ago. I was trying to get him to do an Etrigan cover for the longest time early on and stuff. And when, golly, it might have been Death Metal. It was a 1 in 25 for some book at DC that he got. And he had Darkseid on it, Lobo on it, Doomsday on it, and it had one other character on it. But originally he drew it with Etrigan on it and turned it in. And they're like, this character doesn't work. You have to change it. And he had to take Etrigan off and put a different character in his place. He messaged me. He's like, I tried. Almost
get back to him. He can do one of the B covers for the new Etrigan series coming out as part of the next novel.
That's weird because like I looked at like the covers for the New History of the DC Universe coming out this week and a bunch of other books as well. Like there's a bunch of people, just random people that are on the cover that I'm like, they have nothing to do with the story. So what's the point here?
You're looking at
it had a Brainiac, Lobo, Doomsday. Yeah, it was the 1 in 25 for one of the Dark Crisis books. But that's fine. I took that Justice League Dark variant that he did years and years ago, which is stacked with 3 characters. Mm-hmm. Kind of heads, and there's like a gap on it. It's almost like he formatted that cover to fit a remark perfectly. And I got him to do one of his advanced remarks, and he put both feet in it and drew Etrigan on it, and then didn't even charge me for it. He's like, "I got you, homie. We got you your Etrigan." I'm like, perfect. Yeah, That'd be cool if he gets a legit Etrigan cover, though.
That would be cool.
Bermejo just did a killer cover for that Zatanna one shot that just came out with Etrigan on it with her, but that thing was like $10. I'm like, I can't. And it's one of those anthology books. I guess it was just for the Halloween season. I don't know. Some cool stuff.
Let me see that Legion loot before I get out of here.
So I haven't got the what do you call them? I haven't cherry picked which exclusives from Big Time Collectibles is going in with it.
Okay.
But this is the final month to be celebrating the Peacemaker series.
It's that time of year.
It's that time of year. But today I went to the Trick or Read event at ABX, so I've got there's all the Trick or Read books. So there's 4 books in here for the Trick or Read this year, and there's 4 books in here. So it's all 8 of the Trick or Read books. Well, I know not everybody gets a chance to get out. Not everybody has a shop that participates. But there's the DCKO Frank Cho foil number 1 out of the blind bags. That's like a $10 book.
Hell yeah.
Oh, very cool. Oh, that's Shin Godzilla. Yeah, nice. And a unicorn.
I did my best.
Pops pulled this John Sable Freelance. This is issue number 13, signed by Mike Grell.
You said he found that you said he just found it in the back bin, right?
Yeah, me and him were dollar bin diving. We were looking for Toroks and found 56 Toroks. Mission accomplished. But he found Mike Grell's signature. So whoever was doing those clearly just missed it when they were putting them back there, because Grell charges $20 per signature. And then because it's that time of year, Suicide Squad, issue 4 from 1987, the year of our Lord.
That's right.
And this is the first appearance of William Hell, who would become the White Dragon. Strange Love Adventures, those $10 oversized books for the holiday. They put this out for Valentine's Day a few years back. This actually features the first appearance of Eagly in the Peacemaker story, which the Peacemaker wrecks the Fearsome Five in the most violent way you can for a Valentine's Day issue. He's killing them all because they're trampling on love, attacking the city on Valentine's Day. It's insane. It's absolute insanity. First Rick Flag Sr. in Secret Origins, issue number 14. And you also get like the backstory of Task Force X and Amanda Waller in here as well. So that's a good key to have these day and age for DC fans. Suicide Squad, issue number 1, featuring the first Ginger, Cool, and Belle Reeve. Old Diebeard, John Economos in here. Easy a fan favorite for those who love the show. And I found this one. I'm like, dude, Peacemaker and Vigilante, can't leave it behind. So DC Comics presents issue number 92. Just a really cool cover. And then the Suicide Squad issue number 1, Gerald Peril cover, featuring Peacemaker and the CGC 9.8. Now, the DC Finest that I ordered, they still haven't come in. They will one day, but they're not here yet. And I hope that they're here before it's time to do this giveaway, because I ordered the DC Finest for the Suicide Squad. So it'd be like the run for Suicide Squad, which would be great to put in there. But if it's not here, it's not here. Can't do nothing about it. But if it is here, it'll go in there. And then on top of that, there'll be a little stack of exclusive variants from Big Time Collectibles.
I love it. I love it.
That'll be the first Sunday of November, which I just want to show you off now, because that'll be November 2nd. But November 26th, that'll be the last. I'll have sat on this chair doing the Comics Hearing Cancer auction for hours on end by the time we get to next Sunday night show. So I can't promise I'll be here.
That is an awesome giveaway. I agree, Joffrey.
Yep. Always.
Yeah.
I didn't get to give my thoughts on Peacemaker finale.
Go for it, dude.
Not good. I mean,
universal almost.
I mean, it's like a 5 out of 10 at the best. I gave it a 3 out of 10 after watching it. I mean, here's what I want to say about it. Does anyone care that there's a salvation like place that they're going to put people? I mean,
it didn't feel like that big of a reveal for a finale. It felt like a nothing burger going from where the season was to that out of nowhere felt a little nothing burger ish.
Does anyone care that they created Checkmate? I mean, for the most part. I mean,
now
without getting questioned is what I mean.
Yeah, well, for me, I thought Checkmate was the biggest reveal of the episode. In all sincerity, because what I thought when I immediately saw that is the next season of Peacemaker, how he said like, oh, there's not a season 3 of Peacemaker planned. I'm like, oh, because it's called Checkmate. The Amanda Waller series is it's happening, but we have some things we're working on. Oh, they're calling that Checkmate. Whatever comes next is called Checkmate, and that's what they've been coy about, is what I thought. The way I looked at the finale, it was a terrible season finale, but it was just fine. It was actually really good as an episode. But as a season finale with no Peacemaker in it, that was crazy.
There's like no big action sequence. I mean, they left a lot of stuff. They left a lot of stuff, not tied up. There's a lot of things that they could have done for all those different doors and whatnot, and they did not. Like, they didn't give us any new characters, which, I mean, it's fine. But if you're gonna do all these different doors, all these different dimensions, and not show us anything cool, like that's just a big swing and a mess in my opinion.
Well, how about this, Steve? You and I spoke, and you were tracking the doors. You're curious about the doors, and you watched the trailer, and you tracked the doors. There wasn't a single door in that episode that they didn't already show us in the trailer.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking when I was watching. I was like, those are just the same doors from the trailer. Like, why are they not showing us anything new? Like, what is up with that? Like, what ended up on a cutting room floor is what I want to know.
Yeah, and this is cool. Like, I was happy with Checkmate as well, because the potential with Checkmate, Peacemaker was a big part of Checkmate in the 90s, and we might even get Sarge Steele coming from Charlton. Yeah, can you imagine like if they'd set up Checkmate and he kind of walked in though, like, hey guys, what I mean, like as a cameo or something, that would have been cool. Like, you don't even know who this guy is, and then he just reaches out to shake their hand, and he has the metal hand. Like, that'd be amazing. He was a Charlton character. Most recently, you could find him in TK's Wonder Woman run.
They don't even have to show the face for the question person, obviously, with the face issue anyway. Like, have his hat on, him looking down with the jacket on, standing outside of Checkmate as they're walking out anyways. We're like, hey, who is that?
That'd be cool. And you could have said montage, and you could have said side, and then he just creeps in behind him like he's spying.
Or like had them ask him, who is that? And he goes, well, that's a great question.
Yeah.
That would have been a really cool.
Have him pop out behind a dumpster and wave Goofy like Vigilante did in season 1. I hope they did. That's one thing, I'll be honest with you. And there's a side of me that's glad that they didn't Nothing Burger a bunch of cameos, because some of the characters that get used for those situations are characters that's a tell that you won't be seeing them again down the road. We're just going to burn them for this kind of thing because we have no plans for them. So that means everyone's still on the table. So that's a positive. And as much as I think that James Gunn's writing style and tone is perfect for Peacemaker, I honestly think that he's doing a lot of brand damage, touching stuff outside of Peacemaker. Watching Rick Flag do this very uncharacteristic turn in the finale, and them doing blow and doing drugs in here and partying. The joke about I'm about to cover this keyboard. All these characters that were acting one way in Superman are now acting a different way in here.
I agree.
And it doesn't help. It needs to let go of this connectivity thing. We didn't need all this. They needed the show should have stood on its own merits. There's so much good DC lore, especially when you're playing with the Charlton stuff that's never had any attention or love given to it. You got room to just create with just these characters. And instead of doing that, you're dragging down these other characters that you've already established as one thing and doing some weird stuff with them. I don't know.
I'm excited to see, projects that were not written by him in the future for next year. Like 3 of them coming out, none of them written by him. That is actually exciting to me because I want to see this universe build with someone other than James Gunn writing it.
But Salvation is supposed to be a real important part of Lanterns.
It's a nothing burger to me.
Oh, it won't be moving forward, but as of right now, it feels that way for sure. But they're gonna, man. If that means that Peacemaker has to be a part of Lanterns. I just don't want it to be this interconnected. There's no reason for it to be like when they announced Lanterns is going to be a terrestrial-based story with these space cops in the vein of True Detective. You just described like the perfect Lantern show, and I'm so hungry for the serious kind of gritty tone to these movies, like the way the Dark Knight trilogy feels, the way that the Snyderverse feels. You don't have to Snyder the characters for it to have like that tone and that feel of realism added to it. Like I like the whimsical nature, and that's a word I've used a lot. It's is very on point in my opinion. The Superman movie was very whimsical and lighthearted, and that was good. It worked good for it. Peacemaker is very R-rated and very dynamic in that shifting of tones. You're laughing one minute, you're emotional the next, and that's what made it unique. And the R-rated vibe you bring to it made it stand out as something different.
But the character shouldn't act different.
Exactly. Peacemaker acts like Peacemaker in the Peacemaker show at all times. He acted the same way in the Suicide Squad. And even that little cameo in Superman, he didn't violate the Superman movie, but he acted like himself, talking trash about another superhero, which he did in every single episode of season 1. He burned and roasted a different superhero.
Agreed.
Rick Flag Sr. acting so out of character is one of the points in the theory about Clayface. Oh, you think he might be Clayface at this point?
Go up a couple.
Yeah, he mentions that. Pops mentions that up top.
He mentioned that right above the had not, but that's interesting. Comment from me right above that. 850.
Boo, 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 boo. Speaking of Peacemaker, did y'all see the theory that Clayface impersonating? That'd be cool. Hey, what? Oh my God. What if Flag is still in the hospital? He's just absolutely still in the hospital. Because remember, just 3 months prior, timeline wise, to Peacemaker, Clayface beat him nearly to death and broke his back. And even Harcourt said, I'm glad to see you're back on your feet and doing better.
Could be.
All these people who aren't the real people, it's like, wow. Maybe he runs an inn in Vermont.
Is Clayface in DCU or is he in the Reeves-verse?
No, the Clayface movie is DCU.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe.
Dude, that would be an awesome reveal.
It's not going to happen, but that would be a cool reveal.
Yeah, I think that I would love that reveal because I don't know. I like that means that Clayface was banging Sasha Bordeaux, if that's real. Clayface sure was mad about the death of Ricky.
Right.
But maybe got flip-flopped at some point. I don't know. I'd crave for consistency with these characters, though. I just want this universe to work out so well. And we went another week now with David Zaslav shooting down buyout offers. Mm-hmm. So that original theory that James Gunn's coming in with this plan for a DCU just so that they can present Warner Brothers as a viable movie studio to get some offers and stuff. So far, that's all coming to fruition, except for the fact that they're not accepting any of these offers from anybody yet.
Right.
No, Pops, I do not blame him, not one bit. Total smoke show. I'm Paul, you might be aware. I like looking behind the scenes on things. The powers that be that are moving through all these buyouts and everything. Are you aware of the people that are doing all these buyouts? Paramount got bought out.
Isn't Ellison one of the guys? Right, he's the one that's Paramount, right?
Yeah. So Ellison bought out Paramount. He's part of the people that are involved in the American end of the TikTok stuff,
right?
And it's his son. For a brief minute, he was the world's richest man this past month with some of the acquisitions and stuff like that. So that's how big of a player he is. He surpassed Elon for, I think it was only for a couple of hours, and then like market shifts and stuff, he came back down to under Elon. But he's the one, and it's technically his son. He has his own stuff, but his son is the media mogul who's got a legacy behind his dad. He's not a burnout. A lot of times with this generational wealth stuff, if your parents are wealthy, you're just a burnout by nature. You never fought or worked for anything in your life. His son's not one of those people. His son is actually a worker, and he does the media stuff. So they're going around like trying to just become players in the entertainment industry, and they got Paramount and all the stuff that comes along with it. And they're the ones making the play for Warner Brothers to try to fold it in. Because if you're gonna truly compete in the entertainment industry, you can't have one of these studios, because the biggest player is by far Disney, who owns ABC, who owns 20th Century Fox, Touchstone back in the day, ESPN. So they're looking to be an actual competitor and player. So there's some pros and cons to the idea of them getting Warner Brothers. But I don't want to see Warner Brothers. I want to go to the theater, and I want to see the stars coming down the river and surrounding the mountain. I want to go and I want to see the Warner Brothers symbol. I want to see those till the day I die. They're American institutions.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Now, I will say, like, when we saw Amazon, they bought out MGM Studios, but they absolutely respect the idea that they have an American institution. And when they make something under that studio, they didn't get rid of it. They still call it MGM. They still let the lion roar.
Bond is still always an MGM movie.
Yep. And they're working on figuring out what to do next with that. If I know, like, sometimes fans are just smarter than studios, and I don't know what it is that holds studios back from listening, but Aaron Taylor Johnson just needs to be the next Bond, like, period. If you're going to make one right now, like in the next year or two, Aaron Taylor Johnson needs to be Bond. He's old enough now. He's got the swag. He's the dude.
Agreed.
I don't think Disney can buy. I don't think Disney's allowed to buy anything else.
I don't think so either.
The last merger or something, I thought that they got backed off with the antitrust laws and stuff.
Yeah, when they bought Fox, which is why they don't own the Fox network or Fox Business or all those things, because they can't own two networks. They already have ABC. They couldn't take Fox Sports because they already own ESPN. You know, so they took the movie studio. They couldn't take the Fox name, which is why it's called 20th Century Studios and not 20th Century Fox.
And that's how all of these companies are. So NBC is attached to Paramount. So when Ellison bought that, they got a news network as well as a movie studio and these other things.
NBC is Universal.
I'm sorry, CBS.
Right.
One of them.
CBS
and then
part of Paramount, yeah.
And Warner Brothers owns CNN as a parent company. So whoever comes from Warner Brothers, they get CNN. Like there's this whole umbrella of companies under all of these things. And they had to break up and divest a lot of the stuff when they wanted those X-Men characters really bad.
They really did.
They that's what they came for.
And,
that's what
and Fantastic Four. Fox had owned both of them.
I don't think that they would have shelled out as much for
just for the
Fantastic Four. No. I don't. I think that they were really after X-Men because historically, you look at it, X-Men in the 90s, X-Men was the most recognizable comic book stuff coming out back then, like worldwide. Like the X-Men were just were huge. I remember having this conversation with Pops when I was a kid. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. Like, there's no way the X-Men are that big. He's like, I'm telling you. And then he started pointing it out for like the next 10 years of my life. Like, see, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, they're huge. They're massive. But we're past the 10 o'clock hour. Y'all got anything else you want to hit on before we make like a baby and head out?
Nope.
Steve, what do you got coming up on the channel, man?
Well, I went live today. I should be having a video come out tomorrow. My CGC Spotlight issue or second video on that, doing a ASN 252, what I paid for it, what it's worth, how many copies are on the CGC census, all of that. That should be coming out tomorrow.
I'm excited to see when you picked it up.
2019.
See what the market's done with it. Don't spoil it, but I'm excited to see that because
I won't say what I paid.
Yeah, I know you got into comics a couple few years before the boom, but I know we all bought books through the boom, so it's going to be interesting.
2016 is when I really started picking up comics. January 2016, actually.
Yeah.
So.
Did you see CGC? CGC fired back against PSA. They're doing the bulk pricing that they're doing now. No,
I saw the video that like they cracked a PSA slab of AF-15.
Yeah.
Regraded it on site and gave it back to the guy in a CGC slab, like on site, and like that's savage.
But from a price standpoint now too, they're basically it's bulk pricing. So you gotta like have like 10. You gotta be grading 10 comic books. But as long as they're the same within the same tier, they're giving you like a pretty big discount.
I didn't know they dropped it down to 10 because it used to be 25.
Yeah. So they do bulk pricing now for 10 or
love it.
Or yeah.
Love it.
And that's CGC doing that?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I can't wait to finally get my.
It's like $27 if you do them individually, something like that, and it's like $24 per if you do like the 10 or whatever. So you get 10% off, which is
plus you should get your other % off if you're a member as well.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, I don't think PSA Comics division is going to ultimately do much more than what CBCS has managed to accomplish. They get a nice little bit.
I know they're trying to keep the brand and make it look like the cards, but they're slightly just ugly.
I agree. But yeah, that's all I have coming up. I'll probably do a CGC submission this week now that he said that, and then I would like to put out a video of stuff that I'm gonna I'd like to put up for auction for C3 this next weekend. So that's all I got.
Paul?
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., DC Comics Deep Dive. We take a look at Absolute Flash number 8. Wednesday night, we have Guess That Key coming up. Besides Mark, we will have Izzyverse and Cliff on Comics. And our giveaway has some Halloween themed stuff in it, since we'll be like 10 days away from Halloween. So we got some of the Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween special foil reprints, as well as a couple of the foil from a couple of blind bags. We have those in there as well. So
there you go. That's gonna be a wild stream.
yes.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Now that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be unhinged. Tomorrow I've got a comics curing cancer video coming out, guys. It's the final week. This is it. We are here. It's why I'm wearing the shirt. I'm gonna be wearing it in every streamer video I do leading up to it, as a way to remind myself. But October 24th, Friday, starting right here on this channel for my stream that morning, we'll be kicking off Comics Curing Cancer. There's going to be all kinds of shows all throughout the day. And then Saturday, they'll lead right over into it. Then Sunday, I'll be picking up a bunch of flat rate mailer boxes, but I'll be doing the mystery boxes. I'll have a slab, a complete series, some chase books spread out in them. And this is something really cool today that I don't want to put nobody on blast, but if they don't care, that's one thing. But good buddy, supporter of the channel and friend brought these to me today. This Batman 89 card signed by Michael Keaton with a certificate of authenticity and all the credentials to verify it on the back, as well as Jack Nicholson's signature on the Joker card. So I'm figuring out how I want to format the stream. If I want to do, ultimately, I'd love to do like I did last one, where every half hour or so we bid on a box and let it run. The boxes will have varying value. Some of them will be around $100 box. Some of them could be a few $100s. So whoever wins it. All their names go on a list, and whoever ends up spending the most money on a box will get an extra stuff thrown in there. And I don't know if it'll be these cards will be hidden in those boxes, or if those cards will be incentives for the highest bidders, or if I'll just auction them off separately. You'll have to come in and see. I'm going to run that by some folks and see what some people think. But ultimately, the goal is to make as much money as we can for the American Cancer Society. And the only way that we do that is with the entire community coming together like butt cheeks. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it clap. And it starts clapping Friday morning at 7:30 a.m. Hope everybody can make it. And until then, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.
Bye, guys.
Only one of us has a parachute. Good luck. Ah!